Guys, in this video, I'm so excited. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to give you 5 tips so that you can resurface your very own freeway. Stick around for number 5 at the end of the video. It's going to save you a ton of time and money. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Can you tell? Oh man, I forgot to say without further ado. No, but seriously, this video is about road resurfacing. How a major freeway between OR Tambo International and Johannesburg in South Africa was shut down overnight and resurfaced and opened at dawn in time for the morning peak traffic. A quite remarkable process. So tonight, that's what we're going to be looking at in this video. I've been given access to film a team as they do this work, and I'm going to tell you roughly what they've told me to begin with, what we can expect to see. The first thing we're going to see is a milling machine that's going to remove the old layer of tar, the one that's degraded, and that gets scraped off and put into the back of a truck and removed, and behind that comes a sweeper, and that's just to clean up the surface after the milling machine has done its little destructive thing. Once that's done, a layer of bitumen is sprayed onto the road just to give it a little bit of a seal and a bond with the asphalt that's going to go on. Once that's done, the paver comes in. Now the paver is a machine that puts down the actual layer of asphalt, of tar, the thing that we drive on. And once that's down, rollers come behind it to compress it and tidy it all up. So that's the process we're going to see. The depth and the evenness of the material removed, the old surface being removed, has to be constantly monitored, and that's what these guys behind are doing. They constantly follow behind the milling machine, and they just making sure that everything is working and as it should be. The first part, milling, is going along, and obviously putting down the asphalt behind. It's noisy. It's a noisy process. It's
Don't know what exactly, but we've hit some kind of a problem with this machine. The machine is, I think he said 19 hours on it, the milling machine. Cost 14.5 million rand. A lot of money. And something needs adjustment or something, I don't know.
What I failed to notice at the time was that the guys that walked behind the milling machine checking for quality had picked up that the depth and the evenness being removed wasn't as it should be. So they knew from that that some of the tips on the working surfaces of this milling machine had become worn and needed replacing. It's a normal part of the operation.
Interesting. Thing is, been sorted out and we were about to get going again. Didn't take much time at all. Impressive from the team and from the piece of equipment.
Second part of the process is the sweeper, the thing that makes all the dust. Quite a lot of material gets left behind from the milling machine, and obviously this little sweeper comes in and removes all of that. I'm actually pretty sure that it was this machine that had managed to turn my normally white beard into that reddish brown color that you'll see in the video. And I haven't had a beard that color since I was in my early 30s. Third part of the process is spraying this layer of bitumen. To me, it looked like it was going to be the most boring part of the whole job and the least attractive from a filming point of view. I was actually quite surprised to see that that wasn't the case. It looks remarkably low tech, though. Look at how elegant and practiced this little two-man team is. I was expecting it to be quite a clunky thing, but it was actually quite graceful, and I ended up shooting a lot more of this than I needed. It was just mesmerizing. It was almost like a dance. Such elegance, such unlikely elegance from a man in an orange overall, gumboots, and a balaclava. Working street lights in Johannesburg is an absolute rarity, but I didn't expect it to be this dark where we were working. Just have a look at this. You can see sparks coming off the pick. It really made the work much more difficult, and it certainly made filming it a lot more difficult. I'm not sure if it's obvious, but Once the milling machine has done a certain amount of removal of the old surface, then immediately behind that the sweeper will start working. And once the sweeper has been going over a certain distance, the guys will start to spray. So at a certain point, you'll find all of these processes happening at the same time. And here you see the paver in action. This is the machine that lays down the layer of asphalt. You can see by the steam that this stuff goes on quite warm. I'm not sure the actual temperature, but it became my favorite place to be. It was a bit warmer in the brutal cold of the night. It wasn't as dusty as the sweeper. It wasn't as noisy as the milling machine. And also the asphalt's got a really strange smell that I find quite pleasant. The final step in the process is the roller, and this is the thing, it just makes sure everything is bedded down and compressed and even. It definitely would be the absolute worst place to be run over, and the place you'd most likely be run over. These things go zooming up and down and heading in every direction, and they're a lot quieter than the other machines. I don't know what they weigh, but it's a lot. To summarize it, milling machine removing the surface, sweeper cleaning up the surface, sprayers putting down a layer of bitumen, and then the paver that's going to be putting down the new layer of asphalt, the actual surface that we drive on. And the final step before the road is reopened in the morning is the rollers that come and just compress and tidy everything up and give you a nice clean even surface. You can see with this truck here, and they were trying to turn one of the machines around, and this poor bloke doing his best to stop this big Coca-Cola truck, and it just hooted at him and just kept going and blasted him out the way. Well, I've been told I'm done. Actually quite pleased. Yeah, they got another short section to mow, and then come up close behind. They on track. Everything will be finished by 4 o'clock. I have no doubt they'll be on their way. Take down the barriers, get the traffic through. So it goes on.